Welcome to my bold and beautiful Today's Show channel. I hope today fantastic for everyone. Please hit the subscribes button and give this video thumbs up. Hope catches Carter with Daphne after Liam's push for reconciliation. The bold and the beautiful reveal Hope will catch Carter with Daphne after Liam encourages her to reconcile with Carter. The devastating discovery happens after Carter misinterprets Hope's words about wanting to spend time with Liam. Eavesdropping leads to heartbreak. Carter misunderstands Hope's intentions with Liam. When Hope says something about Liam, Carter completely misunderstands it, and it breaks his heart. In tomorrow's explosive episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Carter Walton will be left devastated after overhearing what sounds like Hope Logan declaring her love for Liam Spencer. But there's a shocking twist that Carter doesn't know Liam is suffering from an inoperable brain tumor and is secretly arranging his loved ones' futures. Carter overhears a devastating conversation. When Carter stops by to see Hope, he'll accidentally overhear her conversation with Liam. At first, Carter smiles hearing Liam encourage Hope to move on with the COO. But his expression quickly turns to confusion and heartbreak when Hope mentions wanting to spend every moment with Liam. Carter is unaware that Hope is merely expressing her desire for Liam's remaining time to be filled with joy and family time. Without knowledge of Liam's terminal condition, Carter completely misinterprets her words as a declaration that she still wants her ex-husband. This devastating misunderstanding will send Carter spiraling, convinced that Hope has chosen Liam over him once again. Talk about terrible timing. Liam's secret sacrifice for his family. Liam's heartbreaking secret is at the heart of all this drama. Facing a terminal diagnosis, Liam is making arrangements for his loved ones without telling anyone why. For Steffi Forrester Finnegan and their daughter Kelly, Liam takes comfort knowing Dr. John Finnegan will be there. But for Hope and Beth, Liam believes Carter would be the best man to care for them after he's gone. That's why he's pushing Hope toward Carter, making the ultimate sacrifice by encouraging the woman he loves to build a future with someone else. The nobility of this act is truly gut-wrenching, especially since his good intentions are about to backfire spectacularly. Daphne seizes her opportunity. With Carter reeling from his misunderstanding, Daphne Rose is perfectly positioned to make her move. She's been waiting for an opportunity to get close to the handsome COO, and his emotional vulnerability gives her the perfect opening. When a heartbroken Carter turns to Daphne for comfort, their interaction could quickly turn intimate. Additionally, given the nature of soap opera timing, there is a strong possibility that Hope will enter precisely at the wrong time. What's next? A tangled web of broken hearts. If Hope follows Liam's advice and goes looking for Carter, will she find him with Daphne? The potential fallout is massive. Carter may believe he's simply moving on from someone who doesn't want him. Hope will likely be devastated, especially after being encouraged by Liam to reconcile with Carter. Daphne's win, Hope's second chance, Luna's future. Carter Walton likely turns to Daphne Rose after eavesdropping on Lope. Plus, what comes next for Luna Nozawa? Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up next week in the CBS soap opera. Carter Walton heartbroken. What happens after Carter overhears Hope pleading with Liam Spencer will be revealed to fans. Carter doesn't know that Liam is dying. However, when he hears Hope asking Liam to reunite, the COO will make an assumption. Carter will think that Hope would rather be with Liam instead of him. The COO might even think that everyone was right about Hope using and stringing him along. Daphne Rose's win. That heartbreak could have Carter turning to the ever-so-desperate Daphne. Carter probably doesn't bother confronting Hope. After hearing her, a heartbroken Carter probably returns to his office, where Daphne will be waiting to heal his broken heart. The Nose will definitely use this situation to make Carter her own. However, Carter could regret it later on when Hope tells him that Liam is dying. Hope Logan's second chance. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that even though Hope might explain, it could already be too late. Carter and Daphne might already be a couple. That could lead to another reason for Steffi Forrester Finnegan to go ahead and bring Hope back to Forrester Creations. Fans might also see what John Finnegan does after getting a request from Liam. The dying man will beg Finn to make sure that there is peace between Hope and Steffi after he's gone. Brooke Logan and Rich Forrester could be confused about the sudden turn in Hope and Steffi's relationship. With Liam insisting that nobody knows the truth, how will Hope and Steffi explain their truce? Over with Luna. She is devastated that Finn won't give her a chance. Luna understands that she did terrible things. However, she blames Steffi and even tells Finn he's choosing the rest of his family. It seems that Luna might make another bold move despite Sheila Carter Sharp's warnings. Carter's broken heart and Steffi's loose lips. The Thursday, May 15th, episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Carter gets a broken heart, and Steffi's loose lips continue to sink Liam's ship. Plus, Hope has a sudden change of heart. These twists and turns have us on the edge of our seats. You need to tune into this week's BNB. Not respecting Liam's wishes. Liam doesn't want anyone to know he's dying. He doesn't want to place this burden on his family. However, Steffi has continued to act against his wishes despite this. She already told Hope, and now she shared the news with Taylor. Steffi can't help herself. She chokes up every time she thinks about Liam. It already upset Liam when he learned that Steffi told Hope. How will he feel if the news spreads throughout Los Angeles? Will he forgive Steffi for not keeping his health crisis a secret? Find out what else happened today on BNB. An earload. Meanwhile, at the Logan estate, Liam and Hope reconnected after he had another dizzy spell. When Hope learned of Liam's prognosis, she made an abrupt decision shift. Carter is no longer on her mind. She told Liam that she would be with him until the very end. But more than just a friend. She wants to go back to him. Hope told Liam that she still loves him and wants to be with him. But is this enough to keep them together? Is it a good idea for Lope to get back together? Meanwhile, Carter overheard their conversation. He felt his heart break once more. He was willing to give Hope another chance. Now he realized that his future is with Daphne after all. Next. Find out what else happened next on BNB. Just getting started. The drama is just getting started. Prior to overhearing Liam and Hope's conversation, Carter had just told Daphne off. He wanted her to get off his back about Hope. He was relentless about getting Hope's job back at FC. Now Hope's revelation could change everything. Not only does she no longer have a future at FC, but she also no longer has a future with Carter. We're interested in seeing where this storyline goes. The Bold and the Beautiful fans are bracing for a 3,000-word storm of passion, misunderstanding, sacrifice, and shattered dreams as Hope Logan catches Carter Walton in a devastatingly intimate moment with Daphne Rose. An explosive fallout born from one man's terminal secret and another's broken heart. The seeds of tragedy were planted when Liam Spencer, hiding a fatal brain tumor diagnosis, encouraged Hope to reconcile with Carter, believing that Carter was the right man to care for Hope and their daughter Beth after his death. Selflessly, Liam set his sights on ensuring that the people he loved would be safe and cared for long after he was gone, even if it meant pushing Hope into the arms of another man. But as is so often the case in the turbulent world of BNB, noble intentions get twisted by miscommunication and fateful timing. Carter, who had recently begun to believe he might have a real future with Hope, shows up at the Logan estate just in time to overhear a conversation between Hope and Liam, a conversation laced with layered meaning and emotional finality. Hope, now aware of Liam's terminal illness after Steffi's slip, had a change of heart. Emotionally raw, she confessed to Liam that she still loved him and wanted to be with him not merely out of pity or duty, but out of deep, enduring love. Her words, however, were never meant to be heard by anyone else, least of all the man who had once asked her for a second chance. For Carter, standing outside and hearing Hope declare her desire to spend every moment she had left with Liam, the message seemed unmistakable. He had been played again. He believed Hope was stringing him along while still pining for her ex-husband, without knowing the tragic truth that Liam is dying, and that his push toward reconciliation was a selfless act of love. Carter's mind spirals into pain, anger, and disillusionment. Convinced he's nothing more than a rebound or an emotional placeholder, Carter storms out, his heart fractured by yet another woman who couldn't seem to choose him first. The next domino to fall in this tragic chain reaction is Daphne Rose, the ambitious and emotionally opportunistic woman, who has long been waiting in the wings for Carter to let go of Hope. Daphne, who had been brushed off by Carter repeatedly, sees her golden opportunity when the devastated COO returns to the office in emotional ruins. Sensing his vulnerability, she moves in gently at first, offering sympathy and understanding, but her true motives lie just beneath the surface. She has always wanted Carter, and now she has her chance. Carter, too heartbroken to think clearly and desperate to feel wanted, lets his guard down. One thing leads to another, and they fall into a passionate embrace, one that, in true soap fashion, occurs at the worst possible moment. Hope, on Liam's urging, had decided to speak to Carter again. She wanted to explain everything: Liam's illness, his desire for her to have a secure future, and the emotional chaos that had made her words sound more like a love confession than the plea for comfort they truly were. But instead of reconciliation, Hope walks into a nightmare. She opens the door to Carter's office just in time to see Daphne and Carter locked in an intimate moment, confirming the very worst of her fears and throwing her entire world into a tailspin. The expression on Hope's face freezes as her heart sinks. What she thought would be a clarifying conversation turns into the end of everything she hoped to salvage. The betrayal stings twice as hard because she knows Carter misunderstood her, and now the one man Liam had trusted to protect her has already moved on, leaving her emotionally orphaned in a storm of grief, guilt, and regret. But the consequences ripple far beyond Hope, Carter, and Daphne. Back at the Cliff House, Steffi struggles with the knowledge that she's broken Liam's trust by revealing his secret to Hope and now to her mother, Taylor Hayes. Liam had made it clear he didn't want his condition revealed to anyone. His final days were supposed to be lived without pity or sadness, but Steffi, unable to carry the burden alone, couldn't stop herself. Her guilt deepens as Liam's carefully laid plans begin to unravel. Now that Carter believes Hope still wants Liam, and Hope believes Carter has betrayed her with Daphne, the peaceful future Liam hoped to engineer is crumbling before his eyes. Meanwhile, Finn finds himself pulled into a delicate balancing act. At Liam's request, he has promised to do whatever he can to maintain peace between Hope and Steffi after Liam's death. It's a solemn vow he intends to honor, but one that is growing increasingly difficult as tensions rise and emotions spiral. The history between Hope and Steffi has never been simple, and now it's about to be tested again, this time by a mutual sense of loss and the looming presence of a grief neither of them are prepared to face. Adding more fuel to the fire is Luna Nozawa, who continues to spiral from Finn's emotional rejection. Although Luna has come to terms with the consequences of her mistakes, she still experiences feelings of emotional isolation, because she is convinced that Finn is favoring Steffi and the Forresters over her. In a bold move, Luna may once again turn to Sheila Carter-Sharp for guidance, despite warnings that such an alliance could cost her everything. The emotional stakes continue to rise as time goes on. Back at Forrester Creations, Ridge and Brooke remain perplexed by the sudden shift in Hope and Steffi's dynamic. The tension that once defined their rivalry seems to have mysteriously melted into an awkward, grief-tinged camaraderie, and neither Ridge nor Brooke can understand why. Brooke especially is concerned for her daughter, who has now lost everything she thought she was rebuilding. Her relationship with Carter, her job at Forrester, and possibly her sense of emotional stability. The events that unfold after Carter's betrayal could lead to Brooke and Ridge demanding answers, and when the truth about Liam's condition eventually comes out, it will rock the entire family to its core. Meanwhile, Daphne revels in what she believes is her victory. With Hope seemingly out of the picture, Daphne thinks she has finally secured a place in Carter's life. But the glow of triumph may be short-lived. Carter, still emotionally reeling, begins to realize that his reaction was impulsive and possibly irreversible. Daphne may have won the battle for Carter's affection, but whether she can keep him, especially after the truth comes out, remains to be seen. Hope, shattered by the discovery, has no choice but to reevaluate everything. She had intended to honor Liam's wishes and find strength in Carter, to give her daughter a stable future, and possibly to forge something real out of the ashes of her past. But now she is left betrayed and alone. Her emotions are compounded by guilt over not being there for Liam sooner, confusion over what she truly wants, and rage that the man she was willing to give a second chance to didn't even wait to hear her side of the story. For Liam, the emotional toll is beginning to show. Despite his noble intentions, he is watching everything fall apart. Steffi, the one person he trusted with his secret, couldn't keep it. Hope, the woman he tried to protect, is now suffering. And Carter, his hand-picked guardian for the future of his family, may have betrayed that role. As Liam's condition worsens and his dizzy spells become more frequent, he begins to question whether his plan was doomed from the start. Meanwhile, Carter must reckon with the consequences of acting on a misunderstanding. When he learns the truth about Liam's illness and Hope's true intentions, he will be faced with a painful realization that he let fear and insecurity guide his actions, potentially ruining the one relationship that might have brought him happiness. Daphne, sensing Carter's emotional distance returning, may grow increasingly possessive, setting the stage for a dangerous entanglement that could have long-lasting consequences. As the episode nears its conclusion, the fabric of every major relationship on the canvas has been stretched to its limit. Liam's secret has set off a chain reaction of emotional disasters. Carter and Hope are broken in ways that may not be reparable. Daphne has seized a moment that may prove fleeting. Steffi is caught between guilt and duty. And Hope, perhaps more than anyone, is standing in the wreckage of a life she no longer recognizes. With revelations looming, passions reigniting, and secrets threatening to spill, The Bold and the Beautiful is delivering a masterclass in high-stakes storytelling. This is not just another twist. It's a complete unraveling of lives that were already hanging by a thread. And as the truth spreads, it's only a matter of time before someone crosses the final line. What will happen when the full truth comes to light? Will Hope ever forgive Carter, or herself? Can Liam hold his world together as his time runs out? And will Daphne's victory cost her more than she bargained for? One thing is certain. In the world of the bold and the beautiful, no secret stays buried forever, and heartbreak is always just one misunderstanding away.